What's up? It's time. Thursday, JBP, the John Browner Podcast. As usual, the John Browner Podcast here every day, Monday through Friday, 10 through 11 o'clock, or however long it goes if we get a guest. I got a good show today. Did England choke is a really good question, by the way. And is Caitlin Clark hurting the WNBA? What is up? What is up? What is up, man? Yesterday's game was probably the first time in soccer I had an experience where I agreed with everyone else. Sometimes the people who watch the sport feel a particular way about it, and then you get a whiff of what they like, and you go, oh, now I understand. That happened to me yesterday. I'm going to break that down. And I told y'all yesterday, I had a topic to talk about at the very end of the show, but I'm going to save it for today because I wanted to get the video. I wanted to show you proof. And then last night, more proof came out. And so now I have that proof to show you. But as we get rolling on the show, as always, I want to start the show with the same thing. If you want to be a part of the show, head over to the John Browner Podcast at gmail.com. That is how you make your way onto this very program. Now, I'm going to tease something that I'm not 100% sure it'll happen or not. We may or may not have a guest today. He told me he's got a meeting, so we'll see if he can join. Let me make sure that's exactly what he said. Yeah. So he said he had a meeting at 10, and if he can get out early, he'll come. I'll wait and let you see who the who is. But outside of that, on the show, as we are always attempting to grow, we'd like for you to like it. We'd like for you to subscribe it. We'd like for you to share it. We'd like for you to retweet it, re-X it, or whatever they're calling it these days. The John Browner Podcast is growing because you are helping it grow. And because of that, we are on the road to 500. On the road again. Again, I'm going to put the JBP up there. I don't know the Balboa Park Zoo thing. Again, the graphic is going to get some work. But by the time it does, hopefully we'll be at 500, man. Hopefully be at 500. I'm working on a couple of things, and I'm trying to move the party forward. I'm trying to up the guest list. But you guys can help that by heading over to the Sporting Tribune as well. Like the Sporting Tribune, follow the Sporting Tribune, because I'm also a member of the Sporting Tribune Tonight, which is a sports show that pretty much covers everything that happened during the day that's Southern California and West Coast related. So do your boy a favor. Hop on that too. Hop on that thing too. That's all I'm saying. And in addition, and last but not least, I don't even know what that is. I forgot what the last but not least was. Shout out to the chat pack. Let me hit this chat pack real quick before we get into what I want to talk about, which is yesterday's game, which was absolutely phenomenal. Shout out to the chat pack. Andre Prado, what's good, bro? What's good, bro? All right, let's get down to business here, okay? Let's get down to business. Where we at? Did England choke? Did England choke? I don't know a lot about the sport. I know a good choke when I see one. I don't know a lot about the sport. I know prevent defense when I see it. I don't know a lot about the sport. I know when I can see poor coaching. Like, you don't need to know strategy to watch if you watch a full game, you don't need to know a lot of strategy to know something's changed. Like, I don't know England's manager. He seems to be a firebrand type of guy. The term park the bus is very big in soccer. I would say they park the bus, the plane, whatever, the bike, the scooter. They parked everything. They parked everything. I thought watching that game, and shout out to Coach and shout out to Andre for bringing it up. I thought when they scored, like, let me back up a little bit before I even get to when they scored. watching the England-Argentina game, I have always been very critical of soccer because nothing to nothing doesn't thrill me. 1-0, it sucks. I don't really get it. I'm an American. I like to see scores in my sporting events. In this particular situation, in a nothing to nothing game, what did it do, Tito? That nothing to nothing game, the intensity in that game, you could feel it on the television. The physical play, the speed, the skill, it really felt like these two teams didn't like each other. There was a lot of fouls that didn't get called. There were some fouls that did get called. The guy, you got to see Jude Bellingham literally go at Messi in more ways than one. Like, it was something that if you are not if you are a casual like me and you're watching this and you want to see stars compete against stars, you got that. You want to see trash talking, you got that. You want to see physical play, you got that. You wanted to see high level sport. You absolutely got that, but you got that in a way where no one, I guess, no one, I don't think people saw the quote unquote parking the bus coming. Because I was watching this game and I'm going, whoever scores, that one goal is going to feel like 5 goals. Because it was so hard to get a shot off. The physical play and the game plans on the first half from both those teams, the first 45 minutes of that game, you could tell both those teams were well prepared, and England won the first half. Like, it was tough to line things up. It was tough to get the ball in the box and even get a shot off. So for England to score, and then, by the way, when England scored, that building went crazy. That building went crazy. And before that, when anybody got in, Argentina had a much smaller crowd than England did. It was pretty much red and white in there. And the blue had a small corner, but vocal, small but vocal. And when England scored that goal, it felt like 3 goals. It really did. And so when it appeared as if Argentina, like, they live for this. It felt like, all right, we're down. Now let's play. Because what happened next after they scored is a combination of poor coaching and choking. I guess choking. If you're doing blame pie, I'm giving a big chunk to the coach. I'm giving the blame pie so much to the coach, he gonna have some leftovers to take home. I heard about Harry Kane all throughout this tournament. Harry Kane gave me nothing yesterday. At least Jude Bellingham was out there talking trash, slapping people in the back of the head when the game was over, going at Messi, laughing in Messi's face, which caused Messi to be like, okay. Flames. So the argument throughout this tournament has been, and I guess throughout soccer, is who's the better player, Ronaldo or Messi? And it's pretty renowned now that the answer is Messi. And at some point, I think in this World Cup, in the next game versus Spain, there's going to be a moment where Lionel Messi does the Jordan Utah shot. Because at that point, when Jordan made the Utah shot, that image is frozen forever as the Jordan moment. That image of Michael Jordan making that shot has absolutely been defined as the Jordan moment. That's the curtain coming down. That jump shot against Utah when he pushed off Brian Russell, smack, 6 championships, second three-peat. That was the moment that the discussion was over forever because he's now perfect in the finals. I believe the road that Messi has created, there's going to be one more moment, one more picturesque goal, one more moment of excellence that will be framed as the Messi moment. Because yesterday he had he had the assists. I think he had 2 assists. But where he placed that first ball to tie the game up was just y'all want to run y'all mouth, England. England, y'all talking? Y'all want to run y'all mouth? Okay. All right. Here we go. It was similar to what happened. I can't remember which game that they played, but when he scored 2 goals, it was almost like he went, no, I'm not losing today. And that's what happened yesterday. That's what great players do. Messi literally went, I'm not losing right now. Y'all done ran y'all mouth. Now y'all got me pissed. I'm not losing today. And it ain't got to be me because it's 3 of y'all on me. Boom, kick it over there. One guy on him, one-on-one, he wins. Back of the net. Crowd goes crazy. England crowd goes silent. Argentina, whether they racist or not, they all went bananas. They all went bananas. Doing some little like hand thing where they were, I don't know. I don't speak Argentinian, but they were doing some hand thing and they were singing. And I don't know if they had a mic in their section, but man, it sounded like it sounded like England went from being the roaring, London football, whatever, to the church mice. Boy, it was quiet in there. It was quiet in there. And I think as an England fan, they were watching that game and they were going, what are we doing? Why are we backing up? What are we doing? Bam, another goal. Game time. Then I think it was like the 92nd minute. But what England was doing, the pressure, the constant pressure that they were putting in the box, and it seemed as if England was just they had resigned to, okay, we can hold court now. We can score. I think they scored in the 60th minute. Let me double check. But I think England scored in the 60th minute or something like that. And after that, bro, they just timed out. They just utterly timed out. Let me see. Summary. Yeah, so for England, Anthony Gordon scored in the 55th minute. And then, Lautaro Martinez scored in the 90th minute with 92nd minute because it was 2 minutes of penalty time. But before he got that goal, it looked as if they were going to score again because the pressure that they were putting on England's defense, who had just they were on their heels. I'm firing whoever's in charge. As a country, you got to be pissed because y'all had that game. England had that game. I don't know where England Graham is today. He probably crying in his tea and crumpets or whatever they drink over there or eat over there or whatever that is. But bruh, it's a sad plate of fish and chips today, baby. Because y'all had that one. Y'all had that one indeed. Just to have it, I guess just to park the bus and watch them. Because Messi just went and I called it when he went and scored 2 and then assisted on the 3rd at the previous game. I said he went God mode. He didn't go God mode yesterday, but he went deep into his bag when y'all started talking England. And I told y'all, and this didn't change, by the way. After this game, I walk away from this game liking Jude Bellingham more than I did before. Because one thing I can tell you about Jude Bellingham, he gonna play hard and he gonna talk. Jude Bellingham know he good, he gonna tell you. He just not on the Messi level. Jude Bellingham learned there's certain things, there's certain people you just don't really talk to during the game. You just play your game. I think Jude Bellingham learned that, all right, there's another level to this that I'm not there. Because in the second half of that game, he did nothing other than run his mouth. In the entire game, I really felt like Harry Kane didn't do anything but, be on the field. I was sold a lot of Harry Kane stock, man. I was sold a lot of Harry Kane stock by y'all being a soccer people. Y'all sold me 2 people. At the end of the day, I'm suspicious of y'all soccer crowd. Y'all sold me Harry Kane, And y'all also sold me, you know who. Y'all also sold me somebody who shall not be named. And both of those dudes y'all sold me did nothing. I saw nothing from Harry Kane. What it do, Biggie? He says Mike didn't push off. Maybe Messi won't push off, but I think there's another. I think that there is another moment somewhere in the mix here. I really do. I believe this tournament has really. Again, I didn't know there was a conversation in this tournament. Messi has solidified that he's better than Ronaldo. I mean, even watching Portugal, Ronaldo was good, but he wasn't doing this. Ronaldo wasn't doing none of this, bro. This is next level. There are a couple of games in the group play. I thought Ronaldo's teammates hated him. Like Messi has a quality that you can tell that team, those players, they're moving as one. They're fighting as a unit. They're playing as a group. Portugal didn't look that way. And that says something about your leader. That says something about the organization that you running with. That says something about the team that you're on. I felt that yesterday. I 100% felt that yesterday. That collective team effort, you can't get that done without a team effort. You can't get that done without people. You can't get that done without other dudes. Because it looked as if England's game plan was when Messi gets the ball, triple team him. We don't care. Don't let him beat us. And he ended up beating you anyway. That was great. That was great, man. Because I've given soccer so much shit. Oh, nobody wants to watch a nothing game. I'd rewatch that nothing first half. The first 61 minutes of that game when it was 0-0, that was some good 0-0. That was like a NFL game where guys can't make it outside the 40s. Defenses were locked down, 3 and out. That was good stuff. That right there, yesterday's game was unique only to soccer. Because nobody was scoring, but that was great play. It was high level skill. It was high level intensity. It was high level back and forth. The whole time. So I got nothing but love and respect for what I saw yesterday, man. Nothing but love and respect for what I saw yesterday. And as far as England parking the bus, buddy, when you get home after you park that bus, I think you're gonna find that you're gonna have to sign up with another bus company, whoever that coach is for England. I think that's it for you, buddy. You can't get that close. You can't get that close and then get scared. You can't. You cannot get that close in professional sports and then get scared. That's not the way. That's not the way at all. So I don't know. But that was good soccer yesterday. That got me to the championship. I want to see Spain and Argentina. This would be a really good game. There's always this photo going around of Messi holding. I guess the kid's name is Yamin Amal or whatever, something along those lines. There's a picture of Messi holding him as a baby. That guy's gonna be playing against Messi in the World Cup come the 18th. I think the final game's the 18th. I think it is. 19th? Sunday. So yeah, Tuchel. I think that's his name, Tuchel. I think there's their manager. Tuchel. Fired, bruh. Fired. Ain't no way, bruh. Ain't no way. Ain't no way you came that far to get scared. Ain't no way. I've been told. I've watched Jude Bellingham just ball out. There's no way y'all told me Harry Kane supposed to be so great, and y'all quote unquote parking the bus, bro. Y'all going full prevent defense. Ain't no way with a 1-0 lead. Now, again, watching that game, that one felt like 3 because of the way the first 60 minutes of that game was played. That one felt like 3. But when you got somebody on the other side like Lionel Messi, bro, you can't go prevent. You got to bury folks. You got to cut off folks' heads, bro. And they went soft. Bro. At the end of the day, they choked. It's my opinion. At the end of the day, they choked, man. I'm John Browner. You've been listening to the John Browner Podcast. As I tell y'all all the time, I'm here from Monday to Friday from 10 to 11 daily, giving y'all a couple sports takes a day. Looking at introducing or announcing something much bigger, much wider on the scale coming in the next couple of months, probably somewhere mid-August for football season. Partnerships, and the show's really I'm going to try to elevate this thing come football season so we can, get it more of a feel of what y'all used to seeing. More guests. The show coming to you in a way that you're more likely to see from a football. More takes. I might expand the show. I might not. I think it's good at an hour. I think the show's really good at an hour. It gives me an opportunity to punch a couple things, have a guest on. They can punch a couple things, and then we get out of here and we let y'all get to the rest of y'all day. But like I said, continue to like the show, continue to subscribe to the show, continue to share the show on X. Shout out to my friends over here at the Sporting Tribune. Continue to make that happen live on their X account right now. Shout out to Raj McCarthy and all the guys over there. Last but not least, I told y'all about this yesterday. I was going to talk about this at the end. What I don't even know where to begin with this. Because the question I asked is Caitlin Clark hurting the WNBA? But the question of if Caitlin Clark is hurting the WNBA, it asks the question, is there such thing as bad publicity? Is there such thing as a negative eyeball on your sport or your product? See, unlike selling a product, when you're selling a sport, you need, first and foremost, you need eyeballs to the television, because the eyeballs to the networks create network contracts, which then create sponsorship dollars. What the league gets off those sponsorship dollars and those eyeballs is totally up to the league. How a player can turn those eyeballs into brand deals is totally up to the agent and the player. So to me, what you're getting from Caitlin Clark at this point may be more harmful than helpful. I don't know if you guys saw this, but I was talking about having content yesterday for the show. I was talking about the content for the show yesterday. And as the show was ending, I kind of went, I want to talk about something because I said, I don't know, I will save it for tomorrow. And when I tell you, Caitlin Clark gave me more content literally last night that I'm glad now I didn't talk about it yesterday. So if you're a sports fan and at this time of the year, you have seen some report of Caitlin Clark either being aggressively fouled, which has led to a weird never watching football again because the Colin Kaepernick crowd showing up in the WNBA as the white knight for Caitlin Clark and the defenders. So the Indiana Fever's fan base now consists of congressmen who write letters to the WNBA about sicking the U.S. intelligence services on the league. They basically said, hey, man, if y'all don't cut this out, we're going to sick Todd Blanche on y'all. We're going to get the Department of Justice involved if you guys don't stop fouling Caitlin Clark. This is the real thing, by the way. Senators wrote this, signed this. I talked about this on the show. You have the Colin, we'll never watch football again because of the Colin Kaepernick crowd now rooting for Caitlin Clark, which has now resulted in a man losing his job for going into, I think it was Alicia Gray's direct messaging with very disgusting racial remarks to her, in which she put it on the internet. Because when I did that, Instagram docked me, but I digress. These things that were said to her, she posted them. That then turned out to get that guy fired from his job, because that happens too when you say something crazy on the internet. So to me, the question has become, is Caitlin Clark hurting the WNBA? Here's exhibit, 97,000 at this point. Yesterday, Caitlin Clark went to the basket, created the contact, and then absolutely lost her mind on an official. Listen to what she had to say after the game.
Kelly, can you take me through that second quarter play with Stokes that made you upset?
Yeah, I got right in the quad. Like, that hurts. Like, the ref can't miss that. And then I have to play with a contusion in my leg the rest of the game. Like, it's ridiculous. Can't miss balls like that.
Did they give you an explanation right after when you...
She said I initiated the contact, which is fine. You can't hit me in the leg, knock me over.
Now, if you're listening to this on the pod, you can go and look up the play that we're talking about, because now it's viral. And you saw the play here. So on this play, she creates the contact. Like, the ref's 100% on point. She creates the contact. Very minimal contact, by the way. And for her to have limped up the court, she limped up the court to complain, but when the play stopped, she didn't have a single limp at all when she absolutely Draymond Green's the official. If you want to talk about preferential treatment, if you want to talk about if these referees have gotten word, or they've gotten pressure, or they feel the pressure of refereeing her, this tantrum she threw, and this is why I said she went Draymond Green, because I've criticized Draymond Green for his tantrums and the way that he screams at referees, and just they don't throw him out. This was on the Draymond Green level of tyrant screaming, foot stomping, arms waving. All these things are textbook for technical fouls in the referee handbook. She made a clear hand display and gesture toward the referee, waved her arms at the referee, then proceeded in a beeline to the referee, screaming her head off in the referee's face. And yet, by the way, this is my favorite part, and this is when I tell you, her teammates are tired of it. You see, when Draymond Green goes on these tirades and he goes after the referee, have you noticed that it takes a minute for his teammates to be like, yo, hey, grab him. Hey, no, I got him. I get it to the referee. I got him. You know how little that happens now when it comes to Draymond Green? They just let him, like, get his tech. If you watch that video, watch how long it takes for another one of her teammates to come over and be like, no. Hey, come on. And it's the one you think it would be. So Biggie says Clark was just pulling a Luka because because that's his game, complain about all contact. It's very difficult to watch Luka Doncic at times because his level of complaining is at a rare form, just elite level complaining. It's not on the Draymond level. He doesn't appear to be belligerent toward the referees. He just appears to complain about every single call, whether it's not against him or a teammate. Caitlin Clark only complains about her not being fouled. And I watch a lot of WNBA games. And some of these things that we are now seeing, it's becoming pretty obvious that she's being reffed different in two ways. She's being reffed different in a way that, her fan base wants. The Clarkers, or whatever they call themselves, she's being ref in the way that they want. She gets to scream at the referee. A lot of stuff on the internet yesterday was like, oh, Caitlin Clark has finally had enough. She creates the contact, falls to the ground. There's a compilation of falls that she took at Iowa, but it is it's almost like you watching the replay. If you look at, I can't remember who made this compilation, but I saw a compilation on X. So just go and look at Caitlin Clark Iowa fouls. I think something along those lines. Type that into X and see what you get. Actually, I'll do it. Hold on, let me see. Because if you see these things, let me see. Falls. If you see this compilation, bro, you're gonna die laughing. It is all the times at Iowa. It's all the times at Iowa when she fell down and just, looks like somebody shot her. I can't find it right now, but it's out there. So to me, it really appears that the message is sinking in, and the WNBA has a problem. The Caitlin Clark effect in the WNBA was awesome year one. It was unbelievable year one. It was wholesome. It was what the game needed. It allowed them to ascend to another level. It gave the game the boost of energy that it needed. The WNBA absolutely needed a boost of energy. They needed a shot in the arm. You had Diana Taurasi, who was getting up in age. You had Sue Bird, who was getting up in age. And so there were women who you could recognize in the WNBA as professional basketball players, legends heading toward the end of their career. Sylvia Fowles is one of those people. They're legends in the WNBA that they were coming to the end of their career. Candace Parker, and they needed another face. They needed another level of energy. They needed a shot in the arm to come into the league and to get people's attention. And none of us knew who Caitlin Clark was. I say us because I was included. None of us knew who Caitlin Clark was until Angel Reese put her finger in her face and did this. And Angel Reese only did this to Caitlin Clark because Caitlin Clark had done that in the previous game to one of Angel Reese's friends. So as Angel Reese was on her march to the championship, she gave it to Caitlin smooth. And that's when the I will never watch football again because of Colin Kaepernick crowd came to the aid of Caitlin Clark, and they have never left her side. And quiet is kept. She holds them close to her bosom. She doesn't distance herself from these people. She doesn't distance herself from this audience. I would love to know what the Caitlin Clark shoe sales look like. I would love to know her Prada deal. How many Caitlin Clark, it may not be a signature Caitlin Clark bag, but is there any exclusive items of Caitlin Clark sold by Prada? How are they selling? Because Prada's expensive. And one of my biggest knocks about that crowd is they love to talk on the internet. They don't talk with their wallet. You see, everybody else talks with their wallet. This group talks on the internet. This group talks real crazy on the internet. They don't talk at the register. They don't talk at the checkout. They talk in the aisles. They talk big about you in the aisles. They scream about your product on the internet with their thumbs, not with their wallets. So I would love to know how many Prada bags they've sold in Mississippi and Alabama and Arkansas and Iowa and in the Dakotas and the Carolinas. In the crowd that they're going for. Is she selling products to those people? Because she doesn't distance herself from that crowd. She, I mean, I'm talking about from walking out with this country singer who said very racist things. It's a business, man. She knows what she's doing. She knows who she's catering to. The WNBA cannot let this continue. This is going to hurt the league. This is going to hurt the league. It's clearly hurting her team. Last night, by the way, Kelsey Mitchell's their best player. Caitlin Clark was egregious last night. As many turnovers as assists. I think she was 4 for 14 or something, bananas like that. And the Valkyrie are a good team. They play good defense, man. They give people fits. People hate to play the Valkyrie. They play hard. They play Tom Thibodeau hard. The Valkyrie play hard in the regular season, and where the team just goes, "I hate you win, man. You win. We got another game tomorrow. Y'all not gonna hurt me." And this is so Biggie. I'm not Biggie. Yeah, Biggie. Listen. So Biggie says Clark is going to have to learn like Steph had to learn to play through the contact because they think that the whistle will blow and they don't hit the shot and no call results in just a missed easy shot. This is more than that. This is more than that, man. I think that the WNBA has poured into her bucket and she has read enough about how she is the WNBA that she really thinks she's the WNBA. That's what I think. That's what I think this is. I think she thinks she can go play in another league and the WNBA ratings will go down. The WNBA had the highest attendance for, I think, was Toronto. The Dallas Wings and the Toronto Tempo had the largest crowd to ever see a WNBA game. The WNBA finals last year was the highest they've ever been rated. She was not in them. If you put her on TV, people will watch it. She goes 4 for 14. They ain't going to pick up no casuals. And then in the game where you go 4 for 14, you have that tirade. And because now you're getting into a space where look at her body language on the court. That's what you want little girls modeling their game after? Look at her body language on the court. Look how she screams at people. Look how she gets in. Look how she behaves. Look how she whines. The petulant behavior that she exhibits on the court. You think that's good for little girls watching? Because that's what they always do. What about the kids? What about the kids? You think Caitlin Clark's visible behavior is good for young girls watching basketball? Because first year Caitlin Clark is gone. I think we stuck with this version. I think we're stuck with this version. Kelsey Mitchell's been the best player on that team this year. Look at the numbers. Consistent, never hurt, gets buckets, keeps her mouth quiet. Whether Caitlin's on or off the court, she gets buckets. Graham says nobody watches the WNBA. Numbers will tell you different, Graham. No, numbers are saying different. People are watching. You're not watching, which, I get it. You're too busy crying over England. I understand. But it is what it is, man. I think the WNBA is in a lot of trouble. Because she's not going anywhere. She's going to miss a game here or there, but she got another 6-7 years of her career physically left to play. And unless there's some type of, but I think there will be other players to come in. I think Juju Watkins is going to have an Olivia Miles level of impact on the WNBA. Biggie, correct. This is the most popular the W has ever been. And it's only going to get more popular if the WNBA promotes their stars correctly. Put Caitlin Clark on television every chance you get. Put Olivia Miles on television. Put Angel Reese on television. It looks clunky, but she has name recognition. Put the Las Vegas Aces on TV every chance you get. Put the Sparks on TV every chance you get. Use your large markets. Toronto's not very good, but they can pack a house. Melina Mabry can shoot that thing, boy. So Golden State, the Valkyries sell out every single game. Every home game they sell out. That's the level of support that you need for the WNBA. That's why some of their markets that they're in are changing. The Connecticut Sun team is moving for a reason. It has operated at a loss for a very long time. Graham, I'm going to put Graham's comment on the screen because this is a talking point. It operates at an average of loss of $10 million a season. It used to be worse than that. It's now 100%. Understand what I'm saying, Graham. It's a subsidized league. It cannot stand on its own without the NBA. But that doesn't mean people aren't watching it. That doesn't mean their finals wasn't the highest watched finals they've ever had. That doesn't mean that their viewership is up. That doesn't mean that they can't be subsidized, but their new contract that they got from ESPN, I think it was ESPN and I think it was Prime, Amazon Prime. Their new contract allowed for their new CBA for folks to put money in their pocket. Their contracts went up. So I want to see what their revenue is at the end of this year when they get that contract money then hits the books. At the end of this year, Graham, come back to me with that $10 million loss number and we'll see how it looks and sounds. Because they've added a whole nother team. That creates revenue. Now, these books might have a little cooking in them. But nonetheless, you're finna add that Amazon money in, you're finna add that ESPN money in, and you're finna add that new contract, that new CBA in. An expansion team, and they got 2 more expansion teams coming. So the fact that they have lost $10 million on average a season, I think that number is going to change next year. So that talking point is going to be out the window soon, Graham. It's going to be out the window soon. Biggie, I've been talking about Olivia Miles for about 2 months now, bro. Olivia Miles is the truth. She out there hooping. Paige Beckers is hooping this year. Angel Reese is hooping this year. Again, it looks different. It looks clunky, but she's setting records. Angel Reese is setting records. Setting WNBA records. It just looks ugly. It's not a cute brand of basketball. But she's a star in her own right. All-star. Again. Leading the Atlanta Dream. So it's good basketball out there, man, if you like basketball. These women are playing high-level energy basketball. But they have a Caitlin Clark problem. What they do with it and how they address it, I don't know. Where it goes from here, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Tomorrow, the show will be live from the Del Mar Racing. I don't know who's going to be on the show. Lots of people will drop by. Maybe nobody will drop by. Maybe it'll just be me and some horses. I don't know. We'll see. Again, tomorrow's show, live from the opening day at Del Mar. Again, I don't know what that looks like. It's a solo thing now. But I'm in the building, looking at the horses, looking at some outfits. We're going to be live. We're going to be out there. We're going to be doing it. So until then, keep liking the show. Keep sharing the show. I appreciate it. Biggie just made a comment that I was going to say something about, but I don't want to get myself in that kind of trouble. I'm out of here, y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Live from the Del Mar Racetrack on opening day, y'all. Peace.